just to calm everything down, to slow everything down. So as you get comfortable in your seat, and the spine feels kind of quite tall, we're going to start, we'll do a countdown with you. So we'll start by covering up the right nostril. And we'll take an inhalation through the left nostril for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we close up the left nostril, exhaling through the right nostril for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we hold and inhale through the right nostril for 5. Then closing the right, exhaling through the left for 5. And then inhaling through the left nostril. And then exhaling through the right nostril. Inhaling through the right nostril. You can count to 6 now. You can keep counting in your mind's eye. Exhaling left. Inhaling left. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. Inhaling left. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. We'll do 2 more cycles. Inhaling left. Exhaling right as slowly as you can now, each breath. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. And moving through this last cycle, inhaling left. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. And then finally exhaling left. And then just placing the right hand back on the knee. Just return to normal breathing just for a few moments. Notice how the breath exercise has made you feel. Notice if you feel more balanced, a little bit of a stuffed up nose, you might want to grab a tissue and just give it a little blow. This particular pranayama is all about bringing balance to the body. And that's what the practice is really themed about today. It's about yin and yang, cultivating both energies in the body using different practices. And so we'll start with a more yang practice, but hopefully we've come into a bit more of a calm space. And just before we begin, I want you to set yourself an intention for the practice. Consider something you would like to work on. Something that's personal to you. Maybe you know how you're out of balance. Maybe you know you need more yin or more yang. Maybe there's something you want to let go of today. Something bothering you, or Maybe you need to direct energy to somebody who needs it in your life. Dedicate your practice to something that's meaningful to you. And then once you set your intention, interlace your fingers, front of your chest, press the palms forward and then up to the sky, and lift up through the rib cage. See if you can just notice any tension in the side body as you breathe in. Press out through the knuckles. As you exhale, relax the shoulders, but straighten the elbows. And then take the hands to the back of the head. So keeping the fingers interlaced. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me all right? If the music's too loud or anything, just drop me a little message. Now press the head into the hands. So it feels like your head's coming into alignment with your shoulders, or your ears are in alignment with your shoulders. And then just keeping this kind of pressure of the hands and the head, so it feels like they're kind of statically engaged. Lift up through the left rib cage and pull down through the right rib cage, and then change sides. It feels like you're sort of massaging the shoulder blades on the upper back. So rather than just sort of leaning side to side, it feels like there's a real shift up on the left side, and then down and then up on the right side. And just notice around the upper and lower back if you've got any pulling sensations. Try another couple of rounds. We want to, as much as we can, incorporate fluidity in the movement today, as we're going to be starting with a little bit of Qigong. We're going to be moving in a kind of Tai Chi style. We want this fluidity, and we want to forget tension in the body. We want to let go of too much muscular effort. So start to be a little bit more exploratory. Start to feel like you're able to stretch. And where can you feel this? And can you move into it a little bit more? Maybe you can work into a more of a side bend, or maybe you need to stretch the neck a little more. Allow small amounts of kind of circular movements, soft movements, fluid movements. And then come to center, and then just pressing open both elbows and both shoulder blades together. See if you can stretch across the front of the chest. You take an inhale, really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Really imagine like a wake-up stretch in the morning. And then just taking it to the opposite direction now, drop the chin, wrap the elbows around the side of the head, and try squeezing the head gently with the elbows now. I say squeeze, just be gentle. Squeeze your head. Just see how this feels in the back of your neck. And then maybe even move a little bit, the shoulder blades up and down again. Just see if you can work the space to the base of the neck, top of the shoulders. Move the head very slightly. Increase or decrease the pressure that you're placing on your head. And releasing the head from the hands, slide the hands beside you, and just remove anything that you're sitting on. Place it to one side. We'll come back to that later. Bring the feet out, a little bit apart, and then just windscreen wipe at the knee. Just see what your hips are feeling like a little bit. Just give a little bit of attention to the lower body. Massage the glutes into the mat. See if the lower back is complaining when you press your knees down. Then turn the fingertips in towards you to come to a reverse tabletop. It doesn't need to be a big reverse tabletop. Fan out the fingers. And imagine you want to try and stretch out through the wrists as you come up. Come up as high as feels comfortable. I want you to take the practice to your own place today. I don't want you to worry too much about whether you're going crazy in the postures or whether you're going not deep enough. Just listen to your body. Try one more inhale. Squeeze the elbows together to get the chest stretch. Think about pulling the mat towards the center of your body. And then one more breath, maybe slide the head back to see if it feels nice in your neck. Push the heels down. And then come back down really slowly. Lift the head last. Cross the ankles and roll forward into tabletop. And then let's take a little stretch for the wrist. So let's take the top of the right hand to the floor to begin with. Start to massage the front of the forearm and the hand by rotating the elbow. Everyone see me well enough? I want to make sure you can see me today, otherwise it's going to be confusing. But yeah, just give can you feel that in your forearm? Kind of feels a bit like your forearm's going to snap. Yeah. Oh God, it's so bad, isn't it? This, you don't realize how painful this can be. And then let's change sides. Take the right hand back to the floor, pick up the top of the left hand, place it down, and then just give the elbow a little bit of a move about. So you're just basically trying to warm up the wrists, work tension out of them, which helps to relax and let go of tension everywhere in the body, don't forget. And of course, we're opening up channels of energy through the joints. So we want to get rid of as much joint tension as possible. Now, releasing the left hand back to the floor, just draw some little circles with the shoulders around the wrist. So now it's like you're massaging into the knuckles, into the wrist joints themselves. And then you can change direction, circular movement, just helping you to kind of bring some attention to the different areas of your hands. Don't forget, your hands are incredibly complicated, energetically and anatomically as well. And then just to finish this little wrist stretch sequence, turn the fingertips in towards the knees. You can go as far as your wrist will let you. Some of us might be able to get them all the way back. So you go from around 3 and 9 o'clock and then 6 o'clock. And then when you feel like your wrist is telling you to stop, you can lift up the shoulder blades and lean back a little bit. Or you can come back into gross down dog, which is pretty gross. So feel free not to do that. Oh, ew. Just not right, is it? If you don't want to do that, just lean back a little bit, just a little bit. And then come up to sit on your heels, curling the toes under, and just shake the hands out. Oh, is that feeling nice? Does that feel good? And don't forget, you've opened up the wrist, now the energy moves around the upper meridian lines, around the hands, around the upper back. Now let's take just a moment, sitting on the heels, bring the palms to the chest, distract yourself by rolling the wrists. So you're stretching the wrist still, you're also stretching the soles of the feet, which may or may not make you want to wince. If anyone's wincing, then I'm with you there. Stretching out the soles of the feet are really excellent. Is really excellent for opening up the lower body meridians, for releasing tension in the connective tissues that then leads up into the hamstrings. Can you give me one more breath here without your feet falling off? No. Interlace the fingers, press the palms up, take an inhale, squeeze the glutes, really free up the front of the hips. Take the tops of the toes to the floor and then come back down to seated. So this is going to feel really nice. Now the front of the ankles, we're just going to lean back a little bit and lift the knees very gently. If you have any ankle issues, be careful. You just want to feel it a little bit in the shins and the fronts of the ankles. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just gently engage your ribs down to your hips. You bring the weight back. You might even be able to put your hands on your thighs. And then rolling forward onto the knees, take the hands forward, come back into tabletop. Take a big breath into cow, stretching the belly. See if you can feel any tension in your stomach. On the exhale, drop the belly down more. Keeping the elbows straight, try to squeeze the shoulder blades together a little bit more. Open out the diaphragm, open out the chest space, open out the belly. Close your eyes and tell your belly to relax. Imagine that you're going to let go of all the tension in your torso so that all the organs can get more blood flow. The pranayama that we did at the beginning of the practice helps the digestive system to get more blood flow. And it helps the nervous system to slow right down. One more inhale. And then as you breathe out, rolling back to downward dog. Take a moment to notice the body in down dog. Relax the head, look between the knees, fan the fingers and press the ground forward. See if you can feel the index finger knuckles in the ground. And remember that you want a little bit more weight in the inner hand and the outer hand, just to protect the wrist. Massage a little bit of free movement through the hips and the legs. And to remember today, I don't want you to worry about what you look like or whether you're doing everything perfectly. I just want you to feel an enjoyment out of moving with fluidity and freedom. Gaze to the top of the mat, take a deep inhale, step or jump or walk or float, whatever you want to do, to the top of the mat. And take a couple of breaths with the knees a little bit soft, feet a little bit apart, and just let the upper body dangle. Maybe hold just above the elbow. Imagine the head is as heavy as a bowling ball, and it's helping you to stretch out the back of the body. You can kind of sway side to side. You can start to allow a little bit of free movement. Imagine you're trying to very slowly stretch a piece of elastic. The head's at one end, the feet at the other end. And start to also feel your feet in the ground. Spread your toes. Press through the balls of the big toes. Think about your feet in more detail, just like we did with the hands. Take one more long exhale. Exhale through the mouth to let go of the weak stresses. And then roll up standing nice and slowly. Take your time. So we're going to start as simply as we can. Everybody see me pretty well here. I shouldn't have worn black today, should I? You see me okay? I'm like a little ninja in the background here. Okay, so we're going to start with something called 5-part Daoist breath. I've done this quite a lot in practice. It's really simple, and you don't have to really move that much. It warms the body up, but it's not too much. So we'll start with that. I'm just starting to get into this fluidity of movement. So relaxing the arms, think about everything softening down through the legs. You start to learn how wide you want your feet in these certain exercises, but I recommend the feet just a little bit wider than the hips for this one. Now, we first of all take a nice big breath in, arms come out to the side. The hands come behind the back of the head, and then you exhale, push outwards, bending the knees a little bit more deeply. As you breathe in, take energy into the shoulders, touch the shoulders with the fingertips, and then as you exhale, you push forward and round the upper back, tucking the chin. On the in-breath, you come up into a little back bend. So you straighten the legs a bit, squeeze the glutes, open the arms. Exhale, fold into forward bend. Bend the knees on the way down, relax the back of the neck. Come up into chair pose, a little squat on the inhale. So don't forget, yang exercises, working the legs, will get the energy flow through the legs. Come back into forward bend, exhaling. Inhale, let the arms come all the way up now. Push through the feet, find an effortlessness to the movement. And then let the hands melt down really slowly, back to the lower dantian, back to this grounding energy at the base of the spine. Let's try that again. So far, so good. Nice big breath in. Bend the elbows, hands straight behind the neck, and then exhale. Push away negative energy. Imagine there's a push-pull going on with all of these exercises. Inhale, tap the shoulders gently, drag energy into the side body, and then exhale, pressing away. Inhale, opening up, taking a chest stretch, and then exhale, folding forwards, releasing tension at the back body, bowing down to the ground. Imagine you take energy from the ground as you come to chair, breathing in, sink into the legs, strong legs, and then breathing out, folding again. Start to find a fluidity in the movement. As you inhale, you rise all the way up to mountain. Imagine reaching up to the sun, and then let the hands come down the midline on the exhale, back to the lower dantian. Let's try one more. Big, deep breath in. Arms light and free. Bend the elbows. Take the hands behind the back of the head and then push away. Push away negative emotions. Push away even a sense of self. Start to feel really engrossed in the movement of your body. Letting go of thoughts that are bothering you, negative thoughts that are bothering you. Inhale, opening up. Let go of excess thinking. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, sinking into chair. Starting to feel this kind of incorporating of yin and yang. So strong and powerful, but at the same time soft and light. Inhale, rising all the way up. Remember to always taking the rough with the smooth as well. Whatever's going on in your life at the moment, remember that there is always good and there is always not so good. You can't have one without the other. Okay, this next little sequence is called Golden Seed. It's a little bit more involved, but not too much. Take your feet a little bit wider for this one. So think of these again, these yang sequences are opening. This is quite a chilled one. It's opening and building warmth, getting the energy flow going. So the first, very similar, we take a nice big breath in, let the arms come up to the sides, slightly wider stance. You can always adjust your stance as we go. Then again, like the other one, we push out. This time, really bend the knees into a deep squat. And then you tip forward. Now remember, you need to move the heels out a little bit for this next bit. We come down into, this is called elephant's trunk. So the arms are forward, just like forward bend in yoga. Then we bring the hands a little closer. Left hand goes to the center and turn the left toes out. The right arm lifts up into a twist. So you're just pivoting on the heel, turn the toes out. You should feel a deep stretch in the inner left thigh. Take the right hand back down. Turn the left toes back in. Now turn the right toes out. Heel, pivoting on the heel, left arm rises. You can always use a block for this sequence if you need to. Take an exhale to twist, opening, and then bring the hands back to center. Bring the toes back to point forward. Now imagine you've got a heavy boulder. Turn the palms to face you. On the next breath in, drag the boulder of energy from the ground. Imagine you're pulling energy up. And then as you get up to the chest, switch the hand position and then push the energy up to the sky, sinking into the legs. Now this is called bird drinks or drinking bird. The arms go out behind you like wings. Make sure the toes point towards me, legs as straight as they can be. Dive the head down. Now breathe in, this is called rocking horse. Bend the knees, let the arms sweep up. And then exhale, back into drinking bird. Bird is still thirsty. I love these moves. Inhale coming up, rise, straightening the legs. And then again, everything melts down to the start position. At the end of this little Qigong sequence, you just ground back down. So you always want to just let all the energy settle. So when you're moving through these postures, these movements, feel like you're manipulating energy. You're taking it from everything around you. You're manipulating the energy in your body. Let's do that again. So we take a nice big breath in, scoop energy from the air around you. And then as you exhale, sit down into horse, pushing out. Listen out for the names. Then we go sinking deeper into horse. And now the hands come forward. We straighten the legs, spin the heels out just a little bit. Allow your feet to move with the posture. Now we take a moment to twist, turning the left toes out. Left hand stays down, right arm lifts as you breathe in. And then exhale, twist. You can open out the inner left thigh and the spine. Right hand goes back to center, left toes turn in. Right toes turn out, left arm lifts, breathing in. This twisting, releasing tension in the back. And then the right toes turn back in now. Bend the knees a little bit and imagine you've got this heavy boulder of energy and you're going to drag that up from the ground. You're going to pull it up, imagine it weighs a little bit convincing on the way up. Take your time as well. What I love about these sequences, there's no rush. Spin the palms up and push up, stretching the side body and bending the knees. Straighten the legs, sweep the arms back like wings, toes point forward, fold, lift the tail, press into the balls of the feet, bend the knees, come back into rocking horse, sweep the arms up, deep squat. Exhale, back into drinking bird. Bird just cannot get enough of this drink. And then all the way up, mountain pose, stretching up, reaching up. And then let everything melt down. Are we into this one, guys? Do you want to do another one? Do another one? Pretty chill, this one, isn't it? I like it. All right, let's go again. I love all the animal names as well. Breathe in. Now feel the movement really fluid. Hands come down to the chest and then push out. Come into horse. Dive forward, tip the spine down into elephant, spinning the heels out a little bit and bowing the head. And then slide the hands closer. Turn the left toes out and lift the right arm for a twist. Deepen the stretch now. See if you can work more space into the ribs. Right hand down. Think about fluid, continuous movement. Left toes in, right toes turn out, left arm rises as you breathe in. And then find the space in your back and your hips. Left hand comes back down to meet the right toes turn in. Grab your boulder of energy from the ground and pull it up slowly with bent knees. All the way to the chest and then sink down, press up, stretch up. Now spread your wings and dive down into that little lake there, pressing the heels out. And then come up into rocking horse, taking it easy, sink the hips down, the ribs up, start to feel fluid in your movement. Back into drinking bird. I always like to imagine what kind of bird I'd be. Inhale, rising back up. I don't know why that's so funny, but think about a heron there. More likely to be a blue tit. And then letting the arms melt down the center. How are we feeling? Should we do one more? Could we do one more? Is that all right? One more. All right, this time I'm going to shut up for a bit. Breathe in, let the arms come up. Push out. Dive into horse, elephant, bow down, spin the heels out. Hands slide in, turn the left toes out. Right arm lift. Breathe slowly, deeply. Change hands, change feet, turn the right toes out, left arm lift. Keep the movement going as if it's continuous like a dance. Grab the boulder of energy, toes point forward, drag it up to your chest. Nice and slowly. And as you exhale, push up, stretch out. Feel length in your spine. Release your wings behind you and soar. Lift the tail, push the balls of the big toes down. Squat, let the arms come up, rocking horse. Arms are super soft like ribbon. And then back down. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, just letting the chi settle. Okay, we'll do a more yoga mandala. So we'll come to the top of the mat and we'll go through a really simple low lunge sequence. Just getting us used to moving around the mat a little bit more. So we'll just start simple, mountain pose, take the arms out, breathe in, find that fluidity. Exhale, dive into forward bend. Let the arms feel graceful, soften the knees on the way down. Take a half lift, stretching the spine, coming up as high as you need to straighten. And then exhale, step both feet back to plank. Let the knees down, hugging the lower belly, spread the fingers. Hold the ground towards you for chaturanga. Engage the back of the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and push the tops of the toes down for cobra. And then exhale, roll back into downward dog, finding a fluidity in the movement, a grace in the movement. Feel like you're waving through the connective tissue, through the muscles, opening up and releasing spaces that might be holding on to emotional stress as well as physical stress. Get the right leg up on the breath in. Take a deep stretch, three-legged dog. Hold and press the left heel down. Inhale, press more strongly into the hands. And then exhale, draw the knee to the forehead, right foot gracefully between the hands. That word again, gracefully. Sink the hips down, right arm rises on the inhale. How many kidding, guys? Exhale, rotate. Inhale, right hand down, spin to the left side of the mat. Toes turn out. Take a little half lift here. And then exhale, fold. Draw the crown of the head to the floor. Now turn to the back of the mat. Left toes are pointing forward, right heel releases. So you're letting your feet move. Now the left arm lifts. I'm doing the same as you. Keep twisting on the exhale. And then take the hands down, step back to plank. Now you can stay with me, taking it easy on the knees. If you want to go hardcore, you can come on your toes, chaturanga. You can either stay in a fluid cobra, try to move like a snake, or you can do up dog if you'd rather. Exhale, move to downward dog, as if you're a wave. Think about moving through the joints like a wave. Create space in between. Just for a moment in downward dog, see if you can focus on the lower back, lengthening the lower back. Let's take the right leg up again, inhaling. Left heel goes down as you exhale. Inhale, right foot comes up a little higher. Exhale, knee to nose, right foot between the hands. Take your time to get the foot up there, and then twist right arm again. Come towards the right knee. Right hand down, spin to the left side of the mat. Just notice the circle that you're doing. Inhale, lift the chest, exhale, fold. Inhale, come to the left toes, turning them back toward the front of the mat, right heel releases. Sink into the lunge, sliding the foot back a little, and then the left arm lifts. You want to get to that point where you can feel where your footwork is meant to be. Hands down, step back to downward dog, take a moment here. Anytime you want to stop and take a child's pose break, or just have a little break, any time is fine. Let's do the other direction now. Left leg rises on the in-breath. Hold here, push the floor forward and press the right heel down. Left leg feels free on the in-breath, and then exhale, hug in the belly, start to tap into your central strength. And take the left foot between the hands. This time, take the right knee to the floor. Breathe in, let the arms float up, and then exhale, let the hands melt down, and as the hands melt down, let the hips melt down. Lift the right knee, curling the toes under, spin to the right side of the mat now, wide fold. Take a moment to bend the left knee and open the inner right thigh. See how your hips are doing. And then switch to the other side, bending the right knee, open the inner left thigh. Now look at the right foot and come back to the back of the mat, releasing the left heel. Left knee goes down. You can add a bit of blanket if you need it. Arms rise as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let the hips come forward, let the arms relax, everything softening down. Vinyasa or down dog, so whichever you prefer. If you want to step back to down dog, you can. Or come with me, chill vinyasa. Circle the shoulders if you're doing up dog or cobra, and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, engage with the hands, press back, let go of all the stress as you breathe out. Anytime you feel like there's a lot going on and you feel like there's a lot you need to get rid of at the moment, breathe out through the mouth. So this time the left leg again rises, so breathing in, stretch the foot up, keep the elbows straight, and then take the right heel down a little bit more on the exhale. Inhale, right leg rises higher. Left leg rises higher. Exhale, knee to forehead, left foot between the hands. Right knee goes down, soft. Push into the left heel, let the arms rise. Now, as you breathe out, let everything melt down. Imagine the fingers, as they go past the head, the shoulders, the hips, let all the tension melt down into the ground. Pick up the back knee, extend to the right side. Again, bending the left knee, open the inner right hip. And then switch to the other side, bending the right knee, open the inner left hip. Check out the right toes with your gaze. And come back to the front of the mat, release the left knee down. Take a breath in, crescent lunge. And then exhale. So focus on this kind of meditative quality to the practice. Let's pick up the back knees, slide the feet to the top of the mat. Take a moment and forward bend. And then bend the knees, rising up, mountain pose. Let the arms spread like wings. Feel the energy buzzing through your fingers. And then slide the hands to the heart, reconnecting with your intention. Is everybody doing okay? Are we too confused or are we okay? Try to remember there's a nice chunk of yin at the end. So if it gets a little bit too difficult, any of the poses, it's totally up to you to just come out of it a little bit. So let's have a go. I want you to imagine today, guys, you are a ninja, okay? So we'll come to the top of the mat. So I used to do this kind of little energy ball sequence here. So you can imagine you're holding a ball. We're going to manipulate the ball, a bit like Street Fighter 2. So soften into the legs and think about this ability to move the feet. Lift the right knee as you breathe in. Find your balance, switch your gaze. Step the right foot back and immediately turn to the back of the mat. The left hand presses forward. And then you can start leaning further forward. So it's called a warrior sequence. Back heel's lifted. Now you drag the left hand in. Come back to face the left foot. Now the right hand presses forward. Imagine, I like to do my Street Fighter 2 noise here. Hadouken! Pulling the right hand back in. My favorite thing to do down the microphone. Exhale. Now look, if you want to go crazy with this, you want to feel warrior-esque, you can go right down. Look. That's hard load, no? Now, check it out. After 3 of these, we lift, pull back in. Imagine there's a push-pull. Now, these right toes point forward, and you're going to try hugging the left knee with the right hand. Left arm lifts up. Basically like a little inner thigh stretch. Your left knee's bent, right leg straight. Now you're going to sweep the arms to the right foot and come back over to this side, same position. Takes a bit getting used to. This time the arms are higher. And then look at the right toes and just use the arms to help momentum slide you up to the back of the mat now. So you should be facing the opposite way now. That's pretty much it. I say that's it. It's quite hard. You do get used to these movements, I promise. Let's do the other leg. Lift the left leg on the breath in. You can imagine you've got this little ball of energy in your hands. You're going to step the left foot back really long. Spin immediately to the back of the mat. Right hand pushes, left leg forward. Sink deep and feel the stretch. Now pull with the right hand. And then push with the left hand, changing sides. Imagine you're manipulating the energy. One more, pull with the left hand. Breathing slowly, push with the right hand. You can go as deep as you like, remember, it's your practice. Now you're coming back up and you're going to sink into the right knee. So feel the stretch here. The left hand holds the right leg and the right arm can lift. It becomes like a little twist. You feel the stretch in the inner thigh. Now, sweep the arms to the front of the mat, left foot up, over, and then back down. Same side. This time the chest is up a little higher. And then you slide the hands in, slide the right foot in, back to the top of the mat, start position. Are we good? Are we good? If you try it again, let's try it again. I want you to go really deep in the legs to feel the stretch this time. Okay, so let's take the right leg up again, breathing in. Gather the energy to the chest, inhaling. Now sink back, long step. Left hand presses, turn to the right side. Lean if you want to. Pull left hand, drag the energy in. And then right hand presses. Breathe slowly. You can stay up a little higher. Last one, pull in with the right, press with the left. You can take it a little bit higher if you need to. Now, pull the left hand in, shift the weight into a bent left knee, and open the inner right thigh. And you can go down low in this bit, holding left leg with the right hand. And then you big circle, breathe in, circle the energy up and over, come back into the same position with the legs. Just stay up a little higher. And then pull the arms to the right foot, get the left foot to the right foot, back to that. Again, this is a warrior sequence. It's meant to be a little bit yang. It's meant to be getting the blood going a little bit. Stimulating all the hip area, this one particularly. All the lower body meridians. Let's do one more, left side. Left knee lifts. Now find your control. Imagine you are a Kung Fu master. There's a grace, the movement. This is of course where Tai Chi comes from, the same place. Pull in with the right hand. And you want to, you can just be here, or you could be here. It's up to you. Pulling in. And then push. Imagine the push-pull. Try not to think too much muscular effort. Keep the movement going. Pull back in with the right hand. Visualize pulling and pushing energy. Think into the right knee. Left hand, right thigh, right arm rises. This is my favorite bit. I love these sweepy bits. Look. Come forward to the left foot, sweep up and over. Big breath in and then sink deep. About to pull out a ninja star here. Now, back to the left foot, feet to the top of the mat. So that should have stimulated the hip area. Can you feel your hips a bit more now, yeah? This next one is called Flying Dragon. Probably the most confusing one, but we're going to go super slow. I'm doing the same leg as you as well. Just so that I don't get confused because that moment. All right, so we'll come to the top of the mat. It's very similar. I want you to feel this time that the upper body meridians are being stimulated. It's a lot of upper body strength stuff. And if you need to have a break, you can, but don't forget, we're moving slow. So again, we'll start with the right leg lifting. Take a breath in and lift the right knee. Let the arms come out to the side. You are a dragon. And bend the left knee, you are flying. Tip the chest forward. It's basically Warrior 3, but with a really deep knee bend. Now, tap the right toes down and take both hands down to the floor wide. Bend the left knee and see how low you can go with the back knee lifted. Imagine you're soaring just above the surface of the water. You should feel a stretch in your hip. Now, the right hand stays down, straighten the right elbow, left arm lifts, twist, and you can let the left knee come out. Left hand goes back to the floor, and then you sweep the left foot straight back into three-legged dog. But this is actually called the tail of the dragon. So the tail of the dragon comes up and over as far as possible. You want to push the floor forward and let the left leg come up. Deep inhale here. Exhale, bring the left foot back between the hands. Now, big sweeping movement here. Both arms push into the left foot. Both arms come up, and we go straight to the right side. So let your feet move, hands down. Now the twist, lizard twist, right arm rises. Expel negative energy with the heat that you're building. Bring the right hand back down, look at the right toes. Push into the right foot. Breathe in, come into a high lunge. Now squeeze the shoulder blades together. Can you give me this big dramatic chest stretch? Squeeze the elbows down into the waist, bend the elbows. Squeeze the shoulder, Hydriyama breath in. Now hands to the floor. The right foot slides back, three-legged dog. See if you can bend the knee and open up the tail. Right foot comes back towards the middle of the mat. Shift the weight over the wrist, and then take the right foot to the left. Now, come into side plank, inner left foot, and then stretch the left arm over. And see if you can give me belly of the dragon, opening the chest, opening the belly. It's quite hard on the shoulders. Take the hands down, slide the right foot back up, tail of the dragon, and then last move, right foot between the hands. Look forward of the right foot. Bring all the weight into the right foot, and then lift up into the flying dragon again. Soaring, body parallel to floor. And then bring the palms together and the feet together, so you're on the other side of the mat. And then if you're feeling it in your wrists, just give yourself a little reverse prayer. Stretch, just pressing the backs of the hands together. So it's a little bit more complicated, but we're going to go super slow, just taking it easy. Don't worry if you get something wrong, or you need to have a break, or, you know. Ninjas never get stressed. Fact. Are you up for the other side? Hopefully. Okay, let's do this. Are you feeling like a ninja yet, guys? A couple of us. Kat is like, I'm not sure. All right, let's stick it bend in the knees. Now, let the left knee lift as you breathe in and spread your wings. Now, just like warrior 3, bend the right knee and come close to the floor. Bend the right knee so that you can get deep into the muscles of the leg, the knee joint. And then take the fingertips just in front of the right foot. Tap the left foot down lightly as far back as possible. Now bend the elbows. Imagine you're doing a push-up. You're going to take, the left leg is still off the floor, and then twist, right arm rises. So you can open up into the twist. Right hand goes down. Find the knuckles in the floor, the fingertips, and then sweep the right foot up and back. Imagine like a dance, you want to free that right leg. Opening up. Right foot goes between the hands. Now sweep the arms up to the right. And then over to the left foot. Releasing. And then come to twist on the left side. Left arm rises. Take the left hand down. Find your balance. Fix your gaze to the floor. Take a high lunge as you breathe in. You breathe out, pull the elbows down to the waist, squeeze the shoulders, look up. And then take the hands back down to the ground. Sweep the left foot back. To breathe more fluidly, slowly. The left foot now comes forward, and you take the left foot to the right side, about halfway up the mat. And then roll onto the inner edge of the right foot and let the right arm rise. So you can take a big side stretch. Squeeze the glutes. Both hands down. Probably the hardest bit this. Slide the left foot in. Left foot goes up. Tail of the dragon whips up. And left foot comes forward. Now this last bit, I want you to feel light. Press into the left foot. Let your arms feel light like wings and take off. And then feet to the top of the mat. Arms together. Now, is anyone a little bit sweaty? Anyone a bit sweaty? Not as sweaty as me, I'll tell you. It's 1,000,000 degrees in here. All right, we'll do one more on each side, guys. Get into ninja zone. Embrace the yang, because then we're going to do some yin. So this is our yang. Let's try right leg again. Inhaling. We'll go a tiny bit faster this time. Let the arms rise. Now soar, flying dragon. Bend the left knee. Lift the back leg, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Fingertips touch down. Right foot touches back as far as you can, and then bend the elbows. Get deep into the hip stretch. Open the left arm to twist. Hands down. Slide the left foot. Press the mat forward. Find an effortlessness. Left leg rises up as high as you can get it. And then left foot back between the hands. Arms do a circle up and over to the right leg. And then we come straight back into the twist. Right arm rises this time. Look to the right foot. Come up into a high lunge. Take a deep breath in when it feels good. As you breathe out, sink into the legs. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Fan out the fingers. Hands down, right foot sweeps back. And then right foot between, not between the hands, sorry, right knee halfway up the mat, right foot to the left. And then come over, roll into a side plank. Now breathe into the left side body. Open the belly. Left hand down. Right foot goes back up. Tail of the dragon. Then right foot between the hands. Lion dragon, look forward. Let the arms expand like wings. Feel your connection to the ground. Push into the right foot, feet together. Palms together, reconnect with your intention. Let go of anything that's telling you anything negative. Any thoughts that are unproductive. Any thoughts that just are not benefiting you right now. Let them go. Imagine all the warmth that you build from this yang sequence is literally burning through. Knots in the body, knots in the mind. Do one more, left leg. So we'll lift the left knee, spread the arms. Imagine yourself now as a dragon, moving with fluidity like a snake. Let the arms guide you into warrior three, into the flying dragon. Now, the dragon goes low to the floor. The left foot steps back, the hands are wide, and you bend into the elbows. Take the deep stretch. Straighten the elbows and twist, right arm rises. Right hand comes down, find the security of your fingertips, and then push them up forward in one big fluid movement. Right leg goes back. Right foot goes back to the top of the mat. Fluidity in the movement, and the arms sweep up and over. And a big, I nearly fell over there, a little bit too enthusiastic there. Coming back down to twist on the left side, left arm rising. Now find the balance, look at the left foot. Come up into a high lunge. And then squeeze the elbows together, open the heart, trust in your own strength. Hands down, push forward, slide the left foot up. Tail of the dragon. And then the left foot comes through to the right side. Roll over to the blade of the foot. Take your time to get into it. Belly of the dragon. Open up. Hands down. Find all your upper body strength. Push back to the left leg rises to the tail. And then last one, left foot between the hands. Guide your body forward with the gaze. And lift up when you're ready. Find confidence. Doesn't matter if you fall out. And push into the left foot. Take the hands together at the top of the mat. That was quite hard, wasn't it? Are you feeling it? I'm actually feeling weirdly stretched and kind of strengthened in my butt cheeks right now. Anyone else? Should we do some, should we do a little bit of yin? Let's do a bit of yin. Take a breath in, let the arms sweep up. As you exhale, fold. We're going to start just with gorilla pose. Now, gorilla pose, slide the hands under the feet. I want you to take just a moment to massage your wrist, because that was quite heavy on the upper body there. You use your toes to massage the wrist. Should feel nice. Now, allow a little bit of a knee bend, so you can get your belly on your thighs. Just kind of sway and stretch and move and straighten. Feel free to move however you want to move right now. If you're really not enjoying gorilla, you can come back up and just do begging dog if you'd rather, but it's a brilliant pose to create space everywhere in the back of the body. So just take a couple of moments to bend the elbows out to the sides. See if you can spread the shoulder blades apart a little bit more. And then on the next breath in, take a half lift, release the hands, slide the hands up as high as you need to. Exhale, step back to downward dog, straight back to down dog. Spread out the fingers, push the ground forward, lift the tail. Take the right leg up on the in-breath. On the out-breath, take the right foot to the left hand. Put the right knee down, and walk the left leg back. So, pigeon, basically. Now, is anyone really dislike pigeon? People who've got their camera off there, so I'm not sure. And actually, Mary's very dark in there, so I can't tell. Well, if you're not into pigeon, or you're struggling with it, grab the blanket. Blanket or a block under the right hip will give you a little bit of support. And if you feel a little bit wobbly, you can even put something right underneath the pelvis to give you a little bit of a lift and support. A lot of people struggle with this pose, so don't feel like, you know, putting a blanket underneath means you can't do it. It just means that you've got tension. And then just take a moment to snuggle the left leg back a little bit further. I'm just going to put a different playlist on. So I want you to try to square, if you can, the shoulders and the hips to the floor. So when I'm doing this pose, I tend to, the back leg, the tail of the pigeon, the majestic pigeon, doesn't sound quite as impressive as a dragon, does it really? The left leg walks back, basically. And you want to engage the glute to stretch the hip flexor. Take a moment coming down to the elbows. So just see if you can take just a few moments. Coming down onto the elbows and just notice what this feels like in your hips. Now work your awareness into this space. Now if it feels too much to be on the elbows, you can stay up on your hands, or you can even put something underneath your elbows to give you a little bit of an in-between space. And this is why with yin poses, it's good to have a little bit of the equipment and blankets, things to prop you up and make you feel comfortable. We're not going to be in this pose for that long. It's not really a full yin sequence, but a little bit longer than we would in a yang. So maybe just a minute or two. We'll do some variations as well. Now snuggle into this pose. Walk forward a little bit. Imagine you're trying to stretch the left leg back, and you're trying to at the same time move the rib cage forward. Imagine that you want to try to find areas in the hips that feel stiff and tight and work into those spaces. We've already been in this pose for a minute. How is it feeling different now that you've spent a few breaths here? If you have really flexible hips and some of these poses don't feel like they're doing you much good, you can draw the energy back in instead of trying to let go of the tension. Imagine drawing strength and stability to those joints. This is something we sometimes mistake in yoga, or make the mistake in yoga, is pushing beyond flexibility, necessary flexibility. We don't need to be to the point where we can do, ballet style flexibility. It's not really that good for the body. So consider the balance that we're trying to strike. And think about how everybody's body is so different. We all store emotions in our hips. So a lot of excessive tension in the hip flexors or the glute area can mean different kinds of stored emotion. Worrying about the future tends to be the front of the hips, and the past tends to be the back of the hips and the lower back. Before we come out of this pose, we'll just do a couple of variations. Use your hands to walk you back up. Take as long as you need. Take a moment, pressing down the left hip and the right hip. Walk over to the left. Take the right elbow over to the left-hand side of the mat. Then just turn the chest over toward the left foot. You want to feel like you're snaking the right side of the spine away from the hip. Just notice how that's feeling. A deep inhale here. Pay attention to the sensation. Yin yoga, or taking time in poses, tends to be more like a meditative practice, so it can be more challenging than the yang. Now walk to the center and come over to the right side, so completely different sensations, I would imagine. Come down to your elbows if it feels okay, and do the same. Move the left elbow to the outside of the right-hand side of the mat, and then press the left hip down, roll the outer left hip down, and then look over the right shoulder. You'll probably feel a bit of a stretch in your waist when you do this one as well. Take a long, deep inhale to the belly. As you exhale, try to let go. Try to find a cultivation of yin energy, a calm stillness. Mind is quieter. Back to face the front of the mat, using your fingertips to help you. And then come up into almost like a back bend version of the pose. You can use your hands or your fingertips. Now, if you have a strap nearby, maybe grab one if you've got tension in the front of the left leg. Or you could try picking up the left foot with the left hand. Sometimes you can use a strap here. Just watch out for hamstring cramp. If you've got a strap, you can use the strap and hold the foot with the strap. which is actually, I have to say, a lot nicer. I can pick up with the foot. Now, you're probably feeling that quite considerably in the left thigh, and the front of the left hip. But this is the space that gets tight when we're a bit anxious about the future, which at the moment, I imagine most of us are, to be fair. So it's actually the two. Nadia's like, yeah, getting in there. It's gotten a bit better for you though, Nadia, hasn't it? Not quite as bad as it was. Yeah, thank God. So when we're uncertain, the hip flexors get tight. So just spend it, just 2 breaths. And if it gets too much, just let the foot go back down. You don't have to hold this, especially if you're starting to have a little cry, or your face is contorting, then always get out of there. It makes me feel a bit sick, this sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Now release the left leg, slowly. Hit the hands now. The best place to go to when you've been doing pigeon is dog. So go straight back to dog. Oh yeah, have a little groan. I can't hear you, so you can grunt and groan as much as you like. Oh, God, it just resets the body. Downward dog. So let's do the left leg. So take a 3-legged dog just to find the movement, the momentum to get the leg to the top of the mat, and then swing the left foot to the right hand. See if you can lay the left shin down, then walk the right foot back. I often find that a lot of people try to get this front shin parallel to the top of the mat. I kind of gave up on that years ago. Just because my hip bones don't really move in that way. If you study the top of your thigh bone and where it meets your hip joint, you'd realize that actually everybody's is so differently shaped. So for some people, yeah, you can get this shin forward with the right hip forward, but for most of us, it's pretty much impossible. So just let the left foot come in towards the pubic bone and keep working the right leg back, because really we want to make sure we're getting the stretch in the front of the right hip as well. And it's this hip flexor space that's benefiting, and it doesn't always need to be intense, the sensations either. Can you still hear me okay, by the way? I just put the music on random. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Let's come down to the elbows. Now, probably this side is a little bit tighter. It's because the left hip and the right hip flexor tend to be, the left glute and the right hip flexor tend to be a little bit on the tighter side. But maybe you might need a little extra blanket under the left hip on this side. If you ever feel like you get into a pose and it's a bit unbearable and it feels like your body's kind of recoiling away from the sensations, it might be good to take an option with the props. Props just make the pose a little bit more comfortable and less dangerous for your body. You want to make sure you're not pushing too hard, stretching too far. But what we can enjoy with the yin yoga pose is this kind of marinating in the posture. So it feels like your body is getting the opportunity to take more from the posture. And so going through the yang tissues, like the muscles, into the yin tissues, like the connective tissues, the tissues that have less blood flow, the tissues that take longer to heal when we damage them. And even right down into the yin qualities of the bone itself, stimulating growth of new bone cells. We'll just spend maybe another 30 seconds or 45 seconds or so in this variation of the pose. So try to move into it a little more if you can. You might find that some poses you come into, and initially they feel really intense, but then as your body relaxes, as you start to feel the body let go, you might be able to go a little deeper. Maybe you can shuffle the rib cage a little bit further forward. Maybe you can move the right foot back a little more, squeeze the right hip down a little more. Take a long, deep Ujjayi breath. Find a quietness to the practice now. Use your hands to come up slowly. If you're starting to roll onto the left hip a little too much, keep rolling back to the right hip. Now, let's take the arms to the right. So different sensations now as we move and snake the spine over to the right side, keeping the left hip pressing down towards the left side. You want to feel that the space comes around the space at the side of the body, the torso, into the left hip bone at the front. And for me, this feels great. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a stretch for the oblique muscles, the stomach muscles at the side. It feels a bit like a sort of tingling release of pressure at the surface of the skin, or the surface of the body, just under the skin. Plastic wrapping of connective tissue is opening a bit. Don't forget, it gets a little bit compressed in our day-to-day lives. And then let's try snaking to the other side. Use the hands to help you. Over to the right there, sorry, the left side. Keep pressing, see if you can keep the hips still. As you come over to the left side, use your right elbow just over to the left side of the mat to kind of pull the chest up and then back. Look over the left shoulder maybe. Find the spot that feels good. Find the spot that feels like it's really doing good for your hip. Come back to the center of the mat when you're ready. Maybe grab the strap if you know that this is going to be intense. And then the right hand, so the same side hand as the leg, picks up the right foot. And then it's kind of this variation. You don't want to roll the body forward. Or just grab the strap and then you can kind of, like a sack of spuds, roll the, so poetic, roll the, it's like pulling, good grief. You know what, if you get the right spot though, it kind of feels good, but it's just too easy to get it too intense. Oh God, it's just sort of weirdly enjoyable in a kind of horrible way. Doesn't make any sense, does it? The quadricep is a little bit understretched in yoga actually, unless we're particularly doing a lot of these kind of poses. There's not huge amounts of quadricep stretches or this front of the thigh stretches in yoga, and they're really excellent for the knee joint. There can be kind of good stretches for the knee, and by releasing in the yin the front of the thigh, then of course it releases the patella, the kneecap area as well. It can reduce some tension pulling on the kneecap, especially if, you know, because we all do serious heavy weight training, don't we? Running actually is a bit of a bugger for these muscles. Ooh, is everyone still breathing? You're keep breathing. Woo! Let's release. Well done. Oh, should we go back to down dog? Let's go back to down. I always think this is the best way to kind of reset it. Just when you're ready, push back to down dog and oi, 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 give it a little shake out. Oh, dearie me. Whew. So we'll continue with a little bit of a hip theme, but I think maybe first of all, actually, let's come down into Sphinx pose. So we'll come down to the knees first, and then just shift the hips forward and roll down, taking the elbows forward. So Sphinx pose is a really chilled back bend. So we need to first of all lift the right leg back a bit more, there he is, and then shift the left leg back a little bit, and then the hip flexors, the front of the hip, the area that I told you about as the area that holds the worry about the future. I want you to just kind of rub them into the floor. Imagine you're massaging them into the floor. Now, Sphinx pose might not be enough for your lower back. I've got quite a flat back, so I find this is quite a nice lower back compression. And actually what we're doing is putting a sort of good stress on the bones. So I want you to feel a bit of compression, but no pain. So it shouldn't be painful. Compression is okay. Now, if you feel like that's not much, it's not doing a lot, you can grab a blanket or a block and put that under your elbows. That's lifting the rib cage a little bit higher. Now this is pretty good for me. This is stretching the belly, stretching a little bit through the thoracic spine, the middle of the back. You might want to put more than one block. If you haven't got any stuff, then you can just do this one. This is another variation, bending the knees. That will intensify the compression in the lower back. So you can try all of these out. Just think about which one feels good, which one doesn't feel so good. Really want to go into a deeper back bend, and it feels nice for your back, and I quite like this one. You can take the hands wide. Now this is not upward dog, it's called seal. The hands go to the edges of the mat, and the fingertips are kind of rotating. You can see that. The fingertips are sort of rotated out, and the hands are quite wide. I really wish I could make a good seal noise when I do this. You want your legs on the floor for this one. No, can't do a good seal noise. You have to stick to my chicken noises, they're the best one. So how does that feel? Does that feel good? Or is it, I like this. You can also do the really attractive, lean the head back and open the jaw. Zombie seal. I love this so much. You want to make sure though that you're able to hang out. So you've got to have your elbows straight. The difference of yin and yang in yoga postures is that the yang postures are using muscles, working muscles, whereas the yin ones, you want to be just kind of hanging out on the bones. Now, if that's starting to feel way too intense, come back to Sphinx. We're only going to be here for another 30, 45 seconds or so. So try to find that. In fact, let's do another minute. Let's find that space where we can marinate. We can let the body kind of sort of melt into the shape of the posture. Remember, it's quite good to have some compression sensation. As long as it doesn't feel painful, then it's okay. I like to remind myself sometimes of good stresses on the body. And it's the same in the mind, you know, sometimes stress is good. Sometimes stress makes us improve and strengthen mentally and emotionally as well as physically. Take a couple more deep breaths here before we come out. You can take one more exhale to relax the belly fully. This is such a great pose to open up the stomach. It sometimes actually gets rid of stomach pain as well. Stretches out all the connective tissue in the front of your body. Now, before you come out down, if you're in seal, bend the elbows. If you're in Sphinx, just slide the elbows forward, and then whichever pose you're in, just take your head on your hands. Shake the hips a little bit. And then slide the right knee to the right elbow. Oh, yeah. Turn the gaze towards the right elbow. And then relax. This is a great pose to just kind of soften the lower back, to open up that space. I remember when I discovered yin back bends, and I always thought I hated back bends, and then started doing yin back bends, I started to realize that they can be really enjoyable and they can be really beneficial. I found that yang style back bending in its extreme would upset my back, whereas yin back bending would really sort of feel like it was helping my back and strengthening it. Let's slide the right leg back down to the back of the mat. Turn the gaze to the left and then slide the left knee up this time. Just allowing the lower back to fully open up. Try to remember this for if you ever have a bit of a stiff spine. Really, really nice way to relax the back if you you've got any tension in the piriformis, the glutes. Try to stay with your body. It's so easy as soon as we start to slow down for the mind to just drift away. Try to come back. Slowly slide the left leg back. Release the head down, forehead on the hand, and then slide the hands under the shoulders and push up and back to child's pose. Out the knees nice and wide. Roll back. Now there's a couple of variations you can do actually. You can take the hands under the forehead. Closer the knees are together, the more you'll feel the lower back stretching. You can actually bring the knees together. This is a more traditional child's pose where the arms are by the side, forehead is on the floor, the tailbone is on the heels. Many of us can't really get the hips to the heels and the head to the floor at the same time. So there's a lot of tension in the back, it's going to be too difficult. You can put a blanket or something under your heels or under your hips, sorry. Lots of ways to kind of prop yourself up. Just take a couple of breaths in child's pose. Allow the lower back to soften. Deep breath in, drawing your awareness to your lower back. As you exhale, tell your lower back to relax. If you experience a lot of lower back tension, this could also be emotional stress that you're storing in your body. Countless stories over my years of teaching of people experiencing acute lower back tension and stress and pain when they're going through a stressful time in their lives. It's so easy to forget that your body holds on to everything that you feel. Connective tissues, quite literally, are emotion. Give your body a break. Be a good friend to your body. Let it relax. One person that will always be there for you is you. And make yourself a priority. Make your body's happiness a priority. When you're ready, come up into kneeling, but come up slowly. And then let's shift onto the hips, sliding the feet around and forward. In one more. Let's finish with a twist, actually. You cannot go wrong with a good twist. Now, have you got blankets and stuff nearby? Any bits and bobs, cushions, blocks and stuff? We're going to do a supported twist. So, have the bits and bobs next to you. Roll onto your back. Take your time. Now, this is an eagle twist. So, first of all, just for a moment, grab your knees and just squeeze the knees in. Just before we do our relaxation, let's reset the spine with a twist. Now, just give your knees, or hold your knees, sorry, and give your lower back a little roll. Draw a circle around the lower back. And then change direction. So imagine you're massaging the lower back. Just notice if you can feel any sort of nervous system sensation. Weird, isn't it? Some days you do this and you're like, oh God, it's all happening down there. Okay, bring the knees into the chest. Take the right leg and wrap it around the left leg. Like two cooked wet noodles, udon noodles, I might add. Bring the knees to the chest and then have a go at dropping the knees to the left. But grab a block or a bolster or a blanket, and as the knees go down, pop the blanket or bolster underneath the knees. Now this is adjustable, you don't have to have such a high setting. You can always take it down a bit. Then what you can also do here, course, if I was there, I would pull this stuff in for you if I were there, at your service. I'd bring you a gin and tonic as well if you wanted me to. No, I could kill for one right now, actually. Dave, get me a gin too, will you? No, sorry, I'll get you a gin too. That's my way. Option is to put the right shoulder on a block. If your shoulder is not making it to the floor, then put something underneath it. You don't want to be straining, you know. You can just put the arm and the elbow, upper arm, the forearm and the elbow on the block. Oh yeah. And then you can you can kind of adjust it until you get to the spot that feels good. You might have open shoulders, in which case you don't need to put the block under there because your shoulder is on the floor. What you don't want, basically, is what I'm trying to say is, you don't want hovering joints. You don't want your joints to be in midair, because then the muscles are going to be wanting to work, and you don't want the muscles to be engaged. The whole point of a yin practice is that the muscles are having a break and you're going deeper. So as you come into the twist now, notice what you're feeling and just take a few long breaths. Try to enjoy this time. And try not to let the mind take you off into the future. This last little bit of the class is time for you to relax, to let go. It's time for you to not be thinking. Time for you to be present instead of somewhere else all the time. Take another 5 long breaths here. Before we switch sides, allow these next 5 breaths to let your body open into the posture, into the shape. After you've done 5 breaths, always come out slowly, just like Savasana. Move your body slowly, untwine the legs, bring the knees back to the chest. Maybe move the equipment, so then the blanket's on the right side of you now. Take a moment to reset. And then keeping the knees closed, this time the left leg goes around the right leg, over the top. Twine the legs together. So there's no gaps in the thighs. Slowly, and with something underneath ready to catch the legs, drop the knees to the right. Allow the left shoulder to come down. And if it doesn't quite make it to the floor, grab something to put underneath the forearm and the elbows. The joint is supported. If it's comfortably on the floor, that's great. As you settle in, start to observe the lower back and this side. This posture is amazing for all of the meridian lines. The postures we've done in a yin style have been excellent for opening up the kidney meridians, stomach meridian lines, increasing the energy flow to the digestive system and to the kidneys. This twist, as well as being great for the digestion, is excellent for the lung and heart meridians. Just like in the upper body sequences we did in the yang practice, this yin sequence is now helping to open up that same line between the hands and the chest. Allow your breath to take you deeper in the pose. Feel every inch of your body in your mind's awareness. Take in the body as a whole. Just like with many things, we need to be able to really hone in on the details, tiny, most minute details, but then also zoom out, observe from perspective. Take 5 more breaths into this side, allowing the body to let go fully. Find strength by letting go of the past, by letting go of ego. When times are challenging, we tend to always think, oh, poor me, why are these things happening to me all the time, and blah, blah, blah. This is just the ego. When we let go of this, and we're fully and truly present, we remember the wonderful things we have to be grateful for, as well as the challenges. We remember that we are never alone in these challenges. And this is what ego would have you think. It would trick you into thinking that you are on your own, that you stand alone with these horrible challenges that face you in life, whereas this is absolutely not the case. We're all in this together. We all face the same challenges. Especially internally. So to always come back, to be present, to observe what is, to be grateful for the simplest of things. When you're ready, come into Savasana or a variation of it. If you have a bolster and your lower back has been sore or tight, place the bolster or whatever you've got underneath the legs. Allow the legs to be raised. If you want to do bound angle pose or legs up the wall pose, you're very welcome. Anything that feels good, basically. As you become comfortable, take a deep breath in, feel your body, every inch. And as you breathe out, let go. Let go of every last bit of remaining tension and effort. And as you let go, try to let go mentally as well. Sometimes the more we feel that we try to control the events in our lives, in our environment, the less control we seem to have. We need to trust in the infinite circle of life. Trust and to let go. Without opening your eyes, take a smile. Even if we don't feel so happy, simply smiling, moving the body in ways that we would if we were happy, can resonate to our emotions and our thoughts, just in the same way our thoughts and our emotions resonate to our body. As you breathe in, connect with your heart. Take a moment to smile to your heart. Thank your heart for its hard work. Take a moment to smile to your eyes. To your legs. To the whole body. In all its greatness and its incredible complexity and intelligence. Incredible body that you have. Appreciate this body. And as you breathe in deeply, start to feel that you energize every single cell. Breathe to the fingertips and the toes. Feels like the right time. Start to move in a way that you might do if you were waking up from a deep sleep. Stirring. And stretch slowly, carefully. Might feel nice to slide the knees to the chest again. Or just do what feels good. Allow your body to move instinctively without having to think. And come over to one side for a few breaths. And if you're ready, come to seated slowly. Make sure you come up slowly. Let's complete the practice with 3 soft Oms. Come back to your intention. Let's try and see if we can feel the vibrations. Placing the thumbs on the chest space. Relaxing the area around the third eye, connecting to the energy between the brow, the instincts, the intuition. Take a deep, full breath in. And empty on the exhale. Inhaling to Om. Om. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much. We just switch you over to a different audio. Something weird going on with my audio settings today. Speak. Yeah. Okay. Unmute. How are we doing? Hang on. How are we doing? Is everyone all right?
Not a ninja.
Ready for bed? Yeah. Did you enjoy it? Did
Yeah.
you? Sorry. With stuff like that, you've got to talk to me because you might. It's a little bit out there, isn't it? Some of those the qigong secret. I mean, I love it, but what do you think? Did you like it? Oh yeah, great. What did you think? Oh, Annie, I can't. See if I can unmute you, Annie. Hang on. What did you think, Katia? Did you like it?
I really liked it.
Oh yay! I'm so pleased because I do these things. And I'm mincing around in the living room, and I'm like, well, I'm really into this, but is everybody? More importantly, are you guys into it? Yeah. God, I'm so pleased. You know that I just want to be a ninja, so I don't like that. Do you know what I love about those things though is you can play with like how you move. So I feel like what people struggle with when they do the qigong is kind of. I was watching some people do the arm swings in the park yesterday, and they're doing it, like this, and you just need to sort of loosen up and so. And I really feel like that sort of thing just helps the body to feel better and to move better. And yeah, anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry about the. I put the birds on, and before that, I accidentally pressed play on the swamp. And there was sort of like bullfrog or something, and I was thinking, oh God, no, that's not working, that bullfrog. Need to get rid. So I kind of phased the swamp out and then brought in a new, just in the nick of time. So I'm really sorry if the bullfrog disturbed your relaxation, guys.
It made me smile.
Oh, did you notice it? Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I was thinking,
what is, where am I meant to be?
oh, it's good.
In a swamp relaxing. Yeah, so yeah, I might do more stuff like this. I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you want to do anyway. I've had somebody wanting to do lower back strength, and then but yeah, and emotions as well, Pearl. I was thinking,
Yeah.
Really, yeah, it'd be nice to do some sort of deeper or spit, especially at the moment. Dealing with emotions is a good one. So, but yeah, always if you come in next week, drop me a message and let me know what you want, and I'll try and do that. This sequence will be on the website as well. You can always re-watch these. Actually, they're a bit quieter at the moment, so you'll be able to see things better as well. So if you ever want to watch it, just below the Zoom link, there's a YouTube thing, and you can just save the YouTube thing for later or whatever. So yeah. So don't forget.
Thanks, Alexa.
Feedback. Thank you so much for coming. So nice to share it. Thank you. Have a nice rest of the day, guys.
Bye.
I don't know why I can't hear you, but mwah, I'm sending you all my love. I hope is everything all right at home? Is Alex okay? Yeah, sweet. Good. Should I get him to join in with the ninja stuff next time? I reckon that'd be good for kids, wouldn't it? Yeah. So yeah. Mary, are you there? Is Mary falling?
Yeah.
Oh, she's there. I couldn't see. I thought you'd fallen.
Sorry, I'm fidgety. My back's a bit sore, so I'm not. I mean, I love the Qigong stuff, but I'm not very ninja today. I'm a bit stiff. So.
Oh, bless you. But always don't forget, just don't go deep into them, and just take it easy.
Yeah.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because
yeah, but I like a good waft. So.
Oh, so do I. I'm like, oh yeah, getting into this. I think I should have done dancing. I never did. I had a horrible ballet teacher when I was a kid, and it just put me off dancing. And now, as I'm older, I'm like, I love dancing now. It goes so well with yoga as well, doesn't it?
It does. Really, really good.
You do a lot of dancing, Elaine. Oh.
I don't do a lot of dancing. I mean, I'm very much I do ballet class, as you know.
Yeah.
I love watching ballet, so I just thought.
Oh, it's so beautiful, isn't it? A lot of that stuff. I was watching there was a video with that dragon flow on it, and the woman who was doing it was a professional dancer, and I was just like, whoa, the three-legged dog bit, her leg would just be like up and over on her foot.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's not going
It's
to be me.
amazing. I mean, you know, we were doing a class when we were before lockdown. We were doing this class where he was teaching us to walk as if we're walking onto stage. You know, like when they present themselves and they walk.
Oh yeah, like yeah.
That was enough to do. It was hilarious. We were all falling all over the place.
I know, it's so difficult, isn't it? It's
So
like
funny to do one simple thing right, you know, and he was going, well, that wasn't too bad. It's just hilarious.
Oh.
To laugh, so I don't, you know.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I mean, we're not training to be in the ballet, so who cares? The same with the qigong. You know, it doesn't have to look amazing. It just needs to feel good. You know, and I think that's what people struggle with, especially in England and Canada. Everyone's got lots of. They worry too much about what they look like or whether they're doing something right, and it's just, you know, that's why it's just nice to feel free, isn't it, in your movements. So.
I suppose that's one thing about lockdown. I mean, if you just see me scrambling around on the floor here trying to find blankets and stuff, it's hilarious. I thought there's no elegance in it at all, so it's probably good that there's no. But then, as you say, you shouldn't worry about things like that. I was thinking, nobody's here because I don't know what I'm doing.
In the Zoom, there's pros and cons to the Zoom, isn't there? And I think the Zoom thing's quite nice in some ways because you don't have to worry because no one's looking at you. So, because when you're in a room full of other people doing it and they all seem to be knowing what they're doing, and you're like, oh God, I feel really, you know, feel as graceful as everyone else.
I used to be like that, but I'm not like that anymore because there's no way I can do things